Welcome back to my kitchen. You guys, y'all already know I had to do a pink velvet cake with all of these beautiful colors that I've been doing. Considering that this month is October and Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I would be remiss if I did not include a beautifully colored pink velvet cake. I just had to. Now I know all of us either know somebody, some of you have experienced this awful disease yourselves. So today, as we do this beautifully colored pink velvet cake, we want to remember those that have lost their fight as it pertains to breast cancer, and also celebrate those of you that are still fighting. You're still in the fight, kicking breast cancer in the butt. We want to celebrate you today by making this beautifully colored pink velvet cake. And what I'm going to do differently, rather than do a cream cheese, I'm going to do a pink chocolate and white chocolate ganache. Now this is chocolate I've had for several months. It was in my freezer, okay? But you guys know I picked up this super white the other day when I was in Kitchen Cake Magic, when we went on the field trip that you all behave yourselves on. So that's what I want to do for this cake today. Everything else is pretty much the same. We have the 3 cups of cake flour, and in this 3 cups of cake flour I have already added the 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder. Several of you have asked about this cocoa powder. This was sent to me by my sweet Jeannie from Georgia. This was, no, she didn't send it. Was it in my care package? When we went to visit Jeannie, I think it was either, she may have had it packed in my bag of goodies that she gave me. Either way, it came from Jeannie. I don't know where she purchased it from, but this was given to me. I was gifted with this delicious cocoa powder, okay? 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder is in here, and I'll explain more about that later. 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt is already in here, and I've sifted it 1 time. When you purchase Swan's Down, it comes pre-sifted for you already in the box. But once I add additional dry ingredients, I like to sift it 1 more time. Now, we all know, or just in case you don't, that slight taste hint of chocolate is the hallmark of the velvet cake. Because I want my pink to be vibrant and pretty, I don't want the chocolate, because normally I would add maybe about 1/4 of a cup. I don't want the chocolate to, if I added that much cocoa powder, it would have made the pink look dull. Okay, I want a vibrant, beautiful pink. So what I'm doing to compensate for adding a little less chocolate is that I'm using a couple of draws of my chocolate oil. I purchased this, you guys, locally at my cake suppliers, the place that I visit. And I'm going to add 2 draws of those, of the chocolate oil, okay? I'm also going to add about 1 teaspoon or so of my baking vanilla. Because I'm adding just a little bit, it shouldn't change the color too much. Well, it shouldn't change it at all. And because I want to today I want to add just a little bit of cream bouquet. Cream bouquet, I also purchased it from my local cake supplier, Kitchen Cake Magic. People ask what does cream bouquet taste like. I say bakery in a bottle. It's absolutely delicious to me. I love it. Some people don't care for it, but hey, to each its own, whatever you like, okay? So we'll be adding a little bit of that. Then I have 3 cups of sugar. I have 5 large eggs that are room temperature, and they've already been cracked. 5 large eggs. We have 1 cup of buttermilk. This is the whole buttermilk that is also room temperature. I have 3 sticks of unsalted butter, and they too are room temperature. Is there anything else I need to add? You guys, just by chance, if I have forgotten something, I don't think I have. Girl, listen, yes you have, honey, the pink color, child. Listen. This is the pink, the Ameri color that I'm going to add. It says it's a fuchsia, kind of like the color of my sweater that I have on, because I want a vibrant pink. So this is the color that I'm adding. I also purchased this from my local cake supplier. Now, is that it for real, honey? You done forgot the star of the show with the color. Okay, I think that is it. Oven has been preheated to 325 degrees. I was peeping at my laptop with my recipe. I think that is it. Of course, I have thoroughly washed my hands. Y'all don't be in the kitchen with nasty hands, because that's just nasty. All right, okie dokie, I think that's it. We're gonna start by adding I'm gonna add my 3 sticks. Let me get my I was looking for my silicone. Let me just grab this with my silicone spatula. I'm gonna start by adding 3 sticks, my 3 sticks of butter to my mixing bowl. No butter left behind, honey. We be trying to get all of it. Get all of the butter. And once I get my butter added, then I'm going to go on and add my extracts and my flavoring, and then that way my flavoring and extracts will be incorporated throughout the entire mixing process, and not just at the end if I were to wait and add them at the end. Okay, we're going to add just a little bit of vanilla, about a teaspoon or more. About a teaspoon or more. I'm going to add our 2 drops of chocolate oil. And then next, if you want a stronger chocolate flavor, by all means add more. But when my husband tasted I think it was a purple velvet. The purple velvet, he smelt the chocolate, so that let me know that between that 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder and the 2 drops of chocolate, that was enough. But by all means, you can always add more. Okay, a little bit of my cream bouquet. All right, now what we're going to do next is, I think that's all of my extracts. We're going to turn the mixer on, and I'm just going to start mixing up this butter a few seconds by itself. And then once the butter and the extracts are mixed in for just a few seconds, then I'll slowly start adding my 3 cups of sugar. Once I get my sugar added, then I'll add my color. Okay, I want to mix the color in early because I don't want to wait until the end. I feel like if I wait till the end, it's going to cause me to overmix, trying to make sure I get the color thoroughly mixed in. So that's why I added early on in the beginning. Okay, while you're creaming, you want to cream on high. I usually cream on like a medium high. This mixer is usually set on about 7.5, 8. Okay, you want to cream until your mixture is light and fluffy. You don't want to hear those sugar crystals mixing around in the bottom of your bowl. Okay, I set me a timer for 10 minutes. Y'all, I'm trying my best to get this up. Okay, I set me a timer for 10 minutes. You cannot skimp on or rush this part of the mixing process because it's very important to the outcome of your cake. It can cause your cake to be gummy. If you've not properly creamed, have you ever seen a cake where it has like streaks in it and it looks gummy, or it looks like it's not done? Oftentimes it's not creamed enough, okay? So don't rush. I set a timer, then I go do something else. Now I'll also have to stop a couple of times and scrape down the sides of my bowl, because what you'll notice is that your butter and sugar, it's going to start collecting on the sides of your bowl, which means if it's up on the sides of your bowl, it's not down in your bowl getting properly creamed. I'll stop at least twice and do that. Once we get all creamed up, I'm going to stop and come back so you can see exactly what light and fluffy should look like. We have arrived to light and fluffy. You guys saw I had to switch it up. When I took the little seal off of the color, I noticed it really had more of a hint of that purple. And I guess after I think about it, fuchsia does kind of have that hint of that purple or that lavender. And that's why I squeezed just a little bit when I was mixing, and it was going to give off too much of a lavender hue or purple. So I stopped it, and then I pulled out my pink food coloring, okay? Something I had in the drawer. Now, I purposely was very heavy-handed with the pink color because, for one, I want a vibrant pink, and then two, as I add the flour, it's going to tone this down a little bit. But you guys see how, look at my sweater, y'all. See how pink that is? It's really a pink, okay? Again, it's going to tone it down a little bit when I add the flour. But if I feel like once I add the flour, if I feel like I need a little bit more pink, I'm going to squeeze just a little bit more in there, okay? So just do whatever shade of pink that you like or you prefer. I just want a vibrant pink. I didn't want a hint of pink. I wanted pink, like in your face, punch you in the head, breast cancer pink. That's what I wanted, all right? I mean, like kick breast cancer's butt kind of pink. All right. Now, it's time for me to start adding my eggs. So we're going to add the eggs one at a time. And what happens is that when I add the egg, the yolk will break up. I'll give it a few seconds and then I'll add the next egg, okay? I don't necessarily wait for the entire yolk to totally disappear and to be mixed in with the cake. All right, so we're going to add those one at a time. Once we are done adding our eggs, ooh, y'all, this pink is so pretty. Once we are done adding our eggs, then it's time to start alternating the flour and the milk. What you're going to see me do is turn this mixer down, way down. This mixer I usually set on about 2 because you want to mix that flour and buttermilk on low. You do not want to overmix at this point. It's very easy to do, so please be mindful. We're not trying to get this batter silky smooth. We're just wanting to mix a little bit, and then we're going to alternate. You always want to add with flour, start with flour, and end with flour. Start with dry, end with dry, okay? So again, once I get these eggs added, you're going to see me turn this mixer down. This part, once you start alternating the flour and the buttermilk, it does not take nearly as long as the creaming of the butter and the sugar. It literally only takes a couple of minutes, if that long, okay? If I feel like once that flour is added that I'm going to need some more pink, you'll see me at some point adding some more pink just to get it to my preferred color. Okie dokie. All right, that's it. Let's continue to get this cake mixed up so we can get it in the oven. Okay, what you saw me doing was I added a little bit of bright white. Why? Because I really compromised my bright pink with just that 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder. So it was different with the darker, with the blue velvet and the purple velvet because they were dark colors. But with this pink, just that little bit of that 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder made a difference. So rather than me having the that bright pink. You see, we were pink until we started adding. We were pink, vibrant pink until we started adding that flour that had that cocoa powder in it. So what I call myself trying to do was kind of brighten the pink back up by adding some white. I was trying to kind of, heavy bowl, cancel out that darkness from that 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder, if you will. I hope that makes sense. So we're going to end up with a soft white. A soft pink velvet, which is fine. Sometimes, you know, when you're baking and you're experimenting and trying stuff, sometimes you just have to regroup. Try not to get too bent out of shape and just figure out what you can do to still make it work. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, honey, as long as the cake is pink, that's what I want. Okay? Alright, so we're trying to get the batter as even as possible so we won't have a lopsided cake. And there's a reason why I did this one. I'm doing this one in my regular pound cake pan as opposed to the bundt pan that I did the other 2 cakes in. There's something I want to try, so hopefully we'll see. Hopefully it'll work out with what I see in my mind. There I go. Y'all know when I get to seeing something in my mind. Alright. So, our oven is ready. Preheated to 325. I'm going to tap it on the bottom to release air bubbles. It's still a pretty batter. Okay? Alright, in we go. I bake my cakes in the middle of my oven. I bake in the middle, which means I adjust my racks where there's one that's in the middle. And that's where I bake. We're setting our timer for 1 hour and 15 minutes. But I will let you know exactly how long it takes to bake once I take it out. We baked about 1 hour and 20 minutes, so a little bit longer than the other 2 velvet cakes. But what I did notice is that the consistency of this one was different than the blue and the purple, and it's probably because of the color. Now with the other 2, they were pourable, and this one wasn't. And like I said, I really believe it's because of the color that was added. The other ones were a gel color, and this one was more liquid, but still it wasn't pourable. In any event, y'all, we have to let this cake cool at least 10 minutes before we flip it, honey. I just happened to notice that it took a little longer to cook, so to bake. Okay, we are flipping. We stuck. No. We stuck a little bit. Look what's in the pan, you guys. But y'all know, no worries, because one, we're going to be covered with ganache. Okay. And 2, I'm going to get what I can to put back on the cake. Like I said, it's not a big deal because it's going to be covered. Ooh, y'all. I had that pan sprayed good too. And you know what? I'm thinking some of these spaces, unless it's like a real dip in it, I may not want to put it back on because I really want my ganache to be smooth as possible. as possible, y'all. Let's see. I ain't gonna worry about the rest. That chewy part is good. Okay. So we're ugly in a couple of spots, but like I said, the ganache should cover it. Okay. It should. But there is definitely a workaround. So now we need to totally cool. I think I want to sweat it again, you guys. So, alright, we're going to put that over it and let it cool, okay? And then when it's time to do the ganache and glaze it with the ganache, we'll be back. Okay, so we are totally cool, and I'm hoping this is going to be a teachable moment for me and you guys. So what I've done, I just took my little wafers and I heated up a little bit of heavy whipping cream. You don't want it boiling, but just heated it up, and I poured it over my wafers, and it just, let it sit for a few minutes and it melts them. Okay, now this has been sitting a little bit because this is my plan, okay? You see how terrible this cake looks. It looks awful because it's stuck. And sometimes you just have to deal with the hand that you're dealt and try to make the best of it. So this is my thought process. My thought process is, because I'm trying to do a 2-layer ganache because there's something I'm trying to create. Okay, so I want the bottom layer to be the white ganache, and I'm thinking, my thought process is, in order to try to camouflage all of this lumpiness that's going on, I wanted this extra thick. Okay. Ooh-wee, y'all listen. So we're just gonna put it on thick. And I need to let it completely harden or dry before I add my other layer. I want to do some pink, of course. All right. And like I said, I'm going to take my time and kind of show this to you. Hopefully to, to give you some ideas just in case this happens to you, especially for those of you that are cake bakers and you all sell cakes. Ooh, my goodness, that's some pressure right there, especially when this happens. So I'm hoping I can kind of, especially for the amateur bakers, if I will. If you guys are used to baking and you're veteran bakers, y'all already know, honey, sometimes you just have to get creative and figure it out. But like I said, I'm hoping I'm going to kind of give you guys an idea, kind of help you if this happens to you. All right. So I'm going extra heavy where it's lumpy at. Keeping in mind that we are going to have another layer of ganache. Now, ordinarily, I wouldn't necessarily show all of this for sake of time, but I'm trying to bring you guys along, and hopefully you understand my thought process when I'm trying to fix something. Okay, it was kind of terrible right there, so let me go heavy, and let me go a little heavier right here. It's okay if it has some texture to it, but I just don't want all those, big lumps that were really where the cake stuck. Okay, I think I can deal with that. You know what, and we're going to make sure we use all of this, honey. No white chocolate ganache left behind. Okay. So from this point, what I'm going to do is, I need this to totally set. So we're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it so it totally hardens. But you can see how that definitely helped. It may not take care of all of it, but it definitely helped, okay? Definitely helped. So we're gonna leave this, let it totally set and harden, and then we will do our pink ganache, okay? And I'll show you exactly how I did it with the heavy whipping cream, how I get it to melt. Okay, I've heated up just a little bit of heavy whipping cream. I have my wafers here. You don't want it to boil. You just want it hot, okay? And we're gonna pour it over here. I'm thinking I'm wanting it a little thick. At least that's what I'm thinking. We'll see. I can always add that last little bit if I need it. I do want to drop just a little bit of my cream bouquet in here. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And now we're gonna just stir. And it, ooh girl, quit slinging it everywhere. And it's melting. And we're just gonna keep stirring until it gets, ooh, until it gets smooth. I probably could have just let that sit there for a few minutes, but I didn't have a whole lot of the heavy whipping cream. So, all right, we're just gonna stir until we get smooth. You guys, I almost forgot. Oftentimes I like to add a little bit of Karo syrup to the ganache to give it a little gloss. Maybe about a tablespoon. Just to give it a little gloss. Like I said, I wanted this a little thick too because I'm still trying to camouflage where the cake's stuck. Now the longer the ganache sits, the thicker it gets. And you can see the areas where I'm still needing to try to camouflage. So I think I do want to maybe kind of start around the edge first. And I'm just going to let it do whatever it wants to do to start off with, okay? This glaze is just free flowing right now, and I'm really not even getting ready to stress about it, okay? We're just gonna let it do what it wants to do right now.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh. Don't be discouraged anymore. You'll find the thing you've been looking for. Pick up the pieces off the floor. Just trust it'll be alright. Your heart is lonely, but it's strong. You might be lost now, and it's not wrong. You'll discover the way, even if it feels long. Just trust it'll be alright. Oh, trust it'll be alright. Be still and know you're loved. Be still and know that you're still good enough. Be still and know that your finish line is only yours to find. Be still and know that you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. You're gonna tell all those demons they can hide. They don't know
Although what I saw in my mind didn't necessarily transfer to the cake, but y'all, listen, this is why I don't decorate cakes. But I wanted to do something special in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So this is my pink velvet pound cake with a white and pink chocolate ganache. As you can see, I was trying to add the breast cancer awareness ribbon. I even brought out my little bandana so I could kind of have something to go by, but I'm gonna leave well enough alone before I end up having to bake this entire cake over because the ganache is looking some kind of terrible. But I tried, you guys.
You're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. Yeah, you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. Yeah, you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. Yeah, you're gonna make it. So never give up. You're gonna make it. Yeah, you're gonna make it. Believe me, you're gonna make it. 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 Yeah, you're gonna make it. Be still and
You guys, before I forget, this is what I had on my finger. I had a Wilton tip when I was trying to draw out the ribbon. Oh, I know Miss Donna's doing. What are you doing?
Oh,
What that mean?
I don't seen that before. Hey, that's a
Hey,
I seen that.
it is time.
That's a ribbon. Another.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's like that's pink. It's for breast cancer. I
Yes.
told y'all.
You know, I was doing the most, honey,
How you do that?
with my Wilton tip right here. That was on my finger.
But what is that? What you making out of?
It's a shimmery glaze. What I use on the what's your cake called? Wakanda Forever. Didn't I do something like that on your cake?
That is pretty. Wow, that is nice.
It's not as pink as I wanted it to be because when I started off with the pink, it had that little, well, it was a fuchsia and it had that little hue of
Purple. That's pink.
I know, but it's like, it's not as vibrant as I wanted it. It's like pink, and to me, how do I describe it? I can tell, what can I tell?
You wanted a hot pink?
I wanted a vibrant pink, but because this one was light colored, that 1 tablespoon of cocoa, because like I said, like I've told you before, the hallmark of the velvet cakes is that they are has a hint of chocolate. So with the darker cakes, you usually I do about 1/4 of a cup or less of chocolate, but I only did 1 tablespoon with the other cakes. I know you don't understand what I'm saying.
Nothing you talking
But
about.
listen, but because they were dark, that chocolate didn't show up like that. But because this is lighter, it made it not as vibrant as I wanted it, but it's still pink. So that's what happened.
That's pretty.
And to me, I can see, it's like I can see the chocolate in there. I ain't want to see the chocolate, but
What chocolate
whatever
is
the
it?
case.
I ain't seen
And
the
then
chocolate. Where is that?
I can just tell it has chocolate in it.
You're the only one can tell. No,
I am not the only one that can tell.
Actually, can y'all tell
You know
chocolate
they
in
can
there?
tell because it's not, I mean, it's not going to be as vibrant as...
They can tell, Donna, because you told them.
No,
One thing I know about some of y'all, everything she tell y'all say, yeah, I agree.
No, that's not true. Don't say that.
Well, most of you do that. Some of you.
No, it's just
One of them.
you can tell because it's a lighter color. That dark, deep royal purple and that dark, deep blue, you couldn't really tell like that. What are you looking for, babe?
I'm looking for my fork.
Look over there, babe.
No.
Is that Amazon or something?
I'm gonna
Is
say-
that amazing at the door? Baby, you ain't got time to answer the door. We're trying to close this video.
Man, look, these kids here selling some candy.
What candy? Okay, we back, y'all. We had to buy the candy bars from the babies. I know, that's a crying shame, honey. Our candy bars used to be so thick.
But y'all look at these inflation candy bars. Look what you like.
No, babe. Come on,
My
now.
goodness, Donna.
It's a shame.
That's so
We used to sell those candy bars when we were in school, and they were triple that size. While you standing there talking about the candy bars, we're gonna go on and dig into the cake. You eat candy bars, I eat cake.
What in the world? No,
I don't like this color.
I like it. Let me see. That's good. You take, let me taste it.
It's good, but I don't like it. After that vibrant purple and blue,
It's like a rose.
it's not pink enough. I wanted it pretty pink.
But it's like rose.
But I tried, y'all. I did. But it was a learning experience. I should have thought about the fact that chocolate was going to compromise and make it.
I can taste some chocolate.
I know you can taste the chocolate.
Am I supposed to?
Yeah, you're supposed to. But I wanted it to be a prettier pink. So what I would do next time, if y'all want the vibrant pink, I think if you can find the chocolate oil, just use the oil. Don't use any of the cocoa, because it's going to make, that's a dingy pink. I didn't want no dingy pink. Sam down gonna eat it up. Okay, you guys, well, I tried. That's my little contribution to Breast Cancer Awareness Month. But honestly, for those of you that are still fighting, you all stay in the fight. Stay in the fight. And I had mentioned earlier that those that have lost, you know, they often refer to it as losing the battle when people pass away with breast cancer. But in the end, you win, honey. For to live is Christ, but to die is gain. So in the end, they win. Although we'll miss them, you'll miss them being here with you, with us. In the end, they do win. Okay, so that was my contribution. I hate the color didn't turn out like I wanted it to. And I was trying to do my little decoration on the top, honey. Listen, hats off to those of you who have baking businesses and you all sell cakes and decorate cakes. Listen, my hat off to you, because Miss Donna be trying to do the most, and then I said, honey, let me leave well enough alone for this cake. I have to make it all over again. You got anything to say for we end? If you've not subscribed,
Hit the nosy.
please consider. Did I tell y'all which Wilton tip that is? Not that you really need to know. It was tip number 48. I hope y'all didn't think I was just dragging my finger through the cake, because I wasn't. But another thing you could do too, like those little, if you didn't want to make an icing, those little squeeze icings that they have at the grocery store, I didn't have that. So I just thought I'd use what I had. I was trying to make it pretty. Anyway, if you've not subscribed, please consider doing so, turning on that notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever we're doing whatever it is we're doing over here. Oh, and by the way, that blue velvet, he did not take it to work because he wanted to run his mouth. He really didn't. Y'all thought Miss Donna was playing with him. I wasn't playing with him.
Would you like something?
Look, now he wants, you want to share today, huh, babe? I wasn't playing with him. He did not take it
You can have
to work. It went right to Donnie's. How about that? Okay. I can have as much as I want.
Yes, you can.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching.
Too much.
We already look forward to you joining us again next time.